out. So here's my first 1x1. Now, if I want to do the grid method where I follow along, I don't know if that helps, but I feel like it does, so we'll try it. Whoa. What I could do is across the top, I could write lightly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then across my big grid, super light, because I want it to be a note, I would write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then down the vertical one, I could do A, B, C, D, E, F. And then here I would write A, B, C, D, E, F. And I want to write light because when I start coloring or painting, I would erase these marks so that I don't see them. So they're just notes for me as the artist for what I'm doing while I'm making my project. But my audience doesn't need to know that I had those notes. And then here's the fun part now. So if you're going to do the grid method where you follow the squares, I kind of wanted to find a different. Here, let me grab a colored paper. I have a couple. Okay, what I could do then is, and you don't have to cover it, but I'm going to show you for demo purposes. If I cover everything that is not in my A1 square, I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you guys can see. This is all I have to focus on. So now instead of thinking about all of the whole picture, and I can't remember who had mentioned it, being overwhelmed, I'm only focusing on this little part of my water. And I'm going to focus on where it comes in the square and where it hits. So A1 is here. So I'm looking at this. And I'm going to, it kind of curves up here. And then it touches the edge of this square. And then it kind of comes around and curves here. And then this comes. And I would say this one over here stops about here, maybe. So this is going to go like that. And then my line comes down like this. Now, because these are our original drawings, and depending on what you're making, if it is not 100% exact in the same spot, it won't necessarily matter unless we're trying to like do a portrait or like a specific character, like of a person, that has to be like in perfect proportion. So now I'm going to move down to B1, and I'm going to focus on just this square. So I have this little line across the bottom here, so it kind of curves. Sorry, my hand is always in the way. And it comes across. And then these lines come down. Whoa. And then this comes down, and these connect. And I'm drawing super light, so if I need to change anything, I can. Now C, oh, that's a pretty easy square. It's got kind of just this little triangle part here. So I'm going to draw this here. And just keep moving from square to square. D looks pretty easy too. Kind of connects here, comes up, and then it has a line here. F is like the easiest because there's nothing in it. And then E just has a line that kind of comes across here. And then I would go to the next row. Oopsies. And I don't have anything in 2A. There's a tiny little bit in 2B that connects here. And then 2C kind of curves. So that's how you follow the grid method. And you just go square by square and try to match up what you see with what's there. Now the other thing I can do, if I'm not too concerned about it being 100% exact, right, and going grid by grid, I can then just kind of redraw my drawing, but on a bigger scale. So, and I'm just sketching it, so I'm going to have to erase some of this stuff later. But if it doesn't necessarily matter where everything is, then I can just draw it in. I don't have to be worried about everything being in its specific space. So questions at all on kind of redrawing your picture onto the big grid? And I want you to try to have this done today, or like half of it done today so that you can draw part of it tomorrow. But then tomorrow we'll talk about how to paint and color it. So anybody need help?